Hey guys, it's Kelsey. I'm back with another scrapbooking process video, and today we are doing stretch to sketch. So this is the sketch we are using today, and I am going to squish this down into an 8.5 by an 11 layout. I have a piece of computer paper here I'm going to use to map my paper, but similar with the way I did this the first time I squished it down to 8.5 by 11. I'm just going to end up matting this on a 12 by 12 at the end so it can go in my album since I am a 12 by 12 scrapper. But I decided it would be fun to kind of squish this down into a smaller format. This would be a really good one to pull out into a double page as well. You could really cram a lot of photos on your layout by using it that way. But I have two 4x6s here, so I kind of decided instead of squishing this down into four small photos, I would just do two 4x6s instead. But other than that, I'm pretty much going to keep the same design. I don't have any like hexagon type things because there's a cool hexagon geometric pattern incorporated in this sketch. But one of this papers in this collection kind of has a geometric design, so you'll kind of see what I decide to do with that instead. But I'm just going to mat both of these photos on some white cardstock. I trimmed them down a little bit just because I do have less real estate to work with when I squish things down like this. So any kind of room I can save by trimming down the photos really helps in the long run. But I'm just going to mat them on some white, just so same with the background, it kind of has that white edge around it. And then I'm going to stack them on top of each other, same as in the sketch, and then I'll end up pulling in something horizontal to run between them. Same as in the sketch. So here's the geometric paper I decided to use. So I thought it would be really cool to do that same kind of hexagon design that's in the sketch, but with these hearts. So I'm going to fussy cut a bunch of these. I'm not going to make you watch me cut them all out. But I thought it would be really cool to kind of nod to the sketch and do something very literal but kind of with a twist. So I'm just going to fussy cut these hearts and kind of lay them out in the same design. But I thought that would be really fun, and I was kind of hesitant to use these orange hearts with an orange background, but because I'm fussy cutting and leaving a little white halo, it actually has a really cool effect. So I'm just going to stagger them around and kind of keep that same design, and then run it flush up to the edge here. And it just takes me a minute to kind of get these how I want them. But I really wanted to do that part of the sketch literally because I changed certain other aspects of the sketch, so when I can do it literally, I really want to. So I'm just going to get these kind of glued down. So there's this whole little hexagon cluster at the top of the page, and then there's kind of a hexagon cluster coming out from the lower right hand corner, stretching behind the photos. So I'll work down at the bottom too. But I'm just going to work on getting these all glued down. I think I ended up having to cut a couple more, but this worked out really well. So I'm using my How to Kill a Kit with Style this month. This is actually the second layout I'm doing for this collection, but because they're kind of hops, I think the order's out of sync from when you're actually viewing them. But this is Echo Parks, I believe. Hello Again collection. So yeah, I already had some scraps to work with from the first layout I did. So I'm trying to use a lot of the same scraps and not cut into too many new papers. But it kind of worked out because the heart paper is actually the B side of the 12 by 12 I end up using. So it kind of works out okay. But now you can see me working in the lower right hand corner. And again, just trying to stagger these hearts. These photos are from when we were in Helen, Georgia. We were kind of just driving around trying to find stuff to do. We really wanted to do rock mining somewhere, and there's a couple different places in Helen you can go, but the first couple places we went to were closed, and the next one didn't open for like another hour. So we were just driving around kind of sightseeing, and we passed this cow pasture, and of course I get excited because cows, but then I saw like there was this weird mound with like a gazebo on top, and we found that there was one of these historical signs next to it, so we ended up stopping on the side of the road to go check it out. And I love when things like this happen, when you just happen upon a cool thing and it wasn't planned. It was just kind of you ran into it and it turned into being a really cool experience. So we actually learned a lot. I read this sign and then I did some research on my phone, and it turned out that this was a Indian burial mound. And I guess when the guy first bought this land for fields and cows and all that kind of stuff. He didn't know that that mound was a burial site. So he put this gazebo on top of it thinking that it was like just meant to be a viewing platform or something, and then they ended up realizing later. So they never took the gazebo down, but they don't use it just out of respect, and then they put this sign up so everyone can kind of know that that's what it is. But it's really interesting, and it's nice because I love when I can have the sign and the picture that's legible, because I really don't have to explain to anyone looking at this page. You can actually read the sign and kind of read what it's about, so it saves me a headache when it comes to journaling, especially because this is squished down to an 8.5 by 11 and there's not going to be a whole lot of room. That kind of all that information is there just in the photo. But I thought I would explain what this was about. It was like a really stormy day today. It like rained on us while we were setting up our camp site, but I thought it was such a cool photo with these cows and the mountain in the background, and then we have this cool like mound. So I wanted to make sure we recorded it because it's kind of a cool thing that we just stumbled upon. But now that we kind of have these hearts laid out in their little geometric pattern, I wanted to find that horizontal bit that runs between these two photos. So I decided just to grab one of the branding strips from this collection. I wanted a kind of aqua tealy one because I know that I want that pattern to be the background, the 12 by 12 I end up using. So I want to pull some blue into this 8.5 by 11 so that it kind of already has the colors from the background. And then that same pattern, I have a scrap of the cut apart in, so I decided to trim that into a little tag because there's also a tag in the sketch to the left of these photos, so I wanted to make sure I had that represented as well. So I'm just creating a little tag with what's left over from this little cut apart card, and I'm kind of just working on that area of the sketch now. But I'm glad I have this branding strip used up and it pulls in that blue, and now I have this tag that kind of starts building more from the sketch. And then I want to add a bunch over there, a lot more embellishment. Just trying to get kind of the layout, the initial layout before I go there. I end up swapping out the branding strip for this other one that has a little bit more detail, and then because I'm adding blue, I kind of wanted to add a pop of orange over the top too, just to make sure the orange is still present from the background. So there's a sticker that says "So Happy Together," and I thought that was appropriate. I end up popping that up on some foam, but I don't do it right away. This layout, I'll go ahead and tell you, this layout gets very sticker happy. I just keep adding stickers and I can't stop myself, and it kind of becomes a problem, but in the end I think it works out. So I decided to pull this giant floral off of the sticker sheet because there's this floral detail in the sketch in these two corners, and I really wanted again for this to be as literal as possible. So I cut it into two pieces so I can kind of have that double floral detail, the same that's in the sketch. But it was just kind of looking awkward, so I decided maybe I'll just add a doily behind all of this and it'll kind of make it all cohesive. And I don't know, this is one of those times where I'm just like, it's not working, but maybe if I just keep adding more, it will start to work. And so that was my mindset during this. So I just kind of leave it and try to just keep adding things and hope it makes sense. And then if it won't, I can always take it off. But I kind of leave the upper cluster for a moment, and I want something down there by the other floral. And I found this cute little teal tag that says "Our Happy." And I really like that because it brought some of that blue down there, but it also replicates this tag that's in the bigger cluster. So I went ahead and threaded both of them with some white and blue twine. I'm going to get both of those stuck down, but I think that looks really cute. And I like that little added detail. And then I think I end up popping that up on some foam as well. But this is where I just keep adding stickers and I cannot help myself. So I had a little scrap of this border sticker left over, so I added that to the cluster. And then I decided everything was looking very flat because I was just adding stickers upon stickers upon stickers and nothing had dimension. So I went back and I added some foam to the "So Happy Together" piece, and I added some foam to the "Our Happy" tag, so at least something had dimension and it wasn't just all flat. And I think that really helped too. But yeah, I was impressed by how many stickers made it on this layout. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but I couldn't help myself and it just kept going. But I think these clusters are kind of turning out fun, at least. They're not boring. But I kind of figured, okay, I'm happy to how it's looking. So I'm going to go ahead and glue this down to the 12 by 12, just so I can see how it all looks with the background to see if there's anything else I want to add. I ended up adding a little bit more to the 8.5 by 11, but I'm pretty much done at this point. I do just decide to add a title and stuff to the 12 by 12. I guess that's not really part of this challenge because my challenge is the 8.5 by 11, but before it went into the album, I wanted a little something on the 12 by 12 too, just so it wasn't all blank space. So I do go in and just add some orange tile sticker that says sightseeing, so it pulls some more of that orange out onto this blue floral. And then I think I add a couple more stickers in the same kind of color scheme so it all looks cohesive. But it turned out this is a really fun layout and this is a really fun sketch to use, and it turned out super different for me, which is fun. And I'm glad I got all the stickers I got used up because I am really worried I'm not going to get through that sticker sheet this month. So it was fun just to keep throwing them on there. So you can see I just added another one. It says, "I like the way you think." And that pulls in that darker teal from some of these floral leaves. And then I think I just tucked in another sticker there in the "Our Happy" tag. That's a kind of teal pen. And then I'm going in with some orangey enamel dots just to kind of emphasize everything. But that's pretty much it. After that, I went back and added an orange arrow over there to my title too. But this turned out super fun. It takes me forever to figure out where to put this final orange dot because I had one left and I didn't want to leave it on the sticker sheet. But yeah. So this is how mine turned out. I ended up squishing it down to 8.5 by 11. But make sure you check out everyone else playing along with this sketch today. I'll link them below and see what they did with it. I don't know, some people might do a I always say Tennessee because it's TN, Traveler's Notebook layout. Some people might stretch this out to a double page. So if you like this sketch, see all the ways you can use it. But this is my interpretation, so that was a lot of fun. Here are the close-ups. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.